This is our 20-month-old Hoover HL4 vacuum, and it's developed a bit of a problem around the cable strain relief. So I'm going to have a look at it today, see if I can fix it. Hi, I'm Chris, and this is the Handyman at Home channel. So having a look in close-up, what we can see has happened is that the outer insulation of the cable has started to tear or rip, and it's exposed the inner live and neutral conductors. Now at the moment there's no sign of the bare copper, so not going to get electrocuted today, but I think it's only a matter of time before we see either one or other of these conductors break or come detached. So first of all, let's take everything off that we don't actually need. So take the dustbin off, disconnect the hose and nozzle, get rid of that. Now I can see there's a couple of Phillips screws there, and looking up there seem to be a couple more screws, so difficult to see exactly. I think I'll start with the easy ones and undo these two. Oh, yes, it might be moving. So I'm wiggling it backwards and forwards whilst pushing it upwards. Pull it all the way up. There we go. Yeah, and that's not going to help very much, although it might help it. Yeah, I think it might allow us to get easier access to those screws. So there's one cross head screw down there, and another one in there. Right, with those screws out, I'm guessing that this top piece is going to come off, and just trying to get my fingernail in that groove, it does look like it might move. Now I don't have any proper, what do they call them, spudgers or something, so I'm going to try a very narrow screwdriver blade. Okay, what I found is if you get your fingernail in the side and run it round, you can sort of like just lever it enough to then actually get something a little wider in, so that's promising. There we go. So we can see the cable comes in through the strain relief here, comes in, is clamped under there, then comes back on itself to the switch. To start with, I think we'll undo those two screws now. So these are all Phillips head 1 screws. Right, I've actually put the assembly back onto the shaft here because it's given me a little bit more cable length to play with to actually see what's going on here. And the switch seems to have 3 terminals. Live there I can see, another live, and I think the neutral wire just goes, yeah, it's joined there and then goes straight down through the shaft. It may well be the case that I could have got this far without taking it off the shaft, but that's as maybe. Right, I think what I'm going to try and do now is see if I can pull the cable back through the strain relief. So let's see. We might have to just nip off that loose piece. Obviously I'm doing all of this with the vacuum unplugged. Don't for goodness sake do any of this with it still plugged in. Yeah, that's coming through now. Right, can see where it's. Yeah, so we've got to clear view now of what's happened. The outer sheath, as I said, is just completely gone. I've snipped off the bit, obviously. The inner conductor is actually look okay at the moment. Looking at what's actually the root cause, so the cable's clamped pretty tightly across those two fittings, but it's snug but not very tight in this rubber, I don't know what you call that, but in this rubber thingy. But obviously the continued movement backwards and forwards has caused the insulation to give up the ghost. So how to repair it? So initially I was thinking that I'd be able to completely detach the cable and then slip on some heat shrink to go over where the insulation has failed. But I'm a little bit reluctant to go down that route because of the fact that the neutral is joined to go further down the shaft. I mean, taking these spade connectors off wouldn't be an issue, but I'm a little bit reluctant to that. So I think what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to tape that up, because this won't take any more strain once we've clamped it back underneath here, and then see if I can tuck the excess cable in some of the nooks and crannies here. Not ideal by any means, but I think that might work. Okay, so I'm just going to bend it back round like that. Use a close peg to hold it in, stop it flicking back out again. Right, I'm going to push the housing all the way back down so that the screw holes line up. And actually, that would have made things a little bit easier, because clearly there's a lot more cable to play with. So maybe my decision to undo this from the shaft was probably a bad one. Maybe you can do the whole repair without doing that, but you learn as you go along. So after a bit of fiddling, I think I've got it roughly positioned that should allow me to get the top cap back on. Okay, before I screw everything up, I've plugged it in. Let's see if it still works. So we put the two screws back in there. These are self tappers. The other one's round this side. So getting this upper assembly back on the shaft so that the holes line up was again a bit of a struggle due to the cable routing. Nowhere near as bad as the lower one, but still a little bit of a struggle. So I would very much suggest, if you're attempting this repair yourself, then I would start by unscrewing the two screws that secure this top cap and seeing if you can pull the flex through like I did without touching anything that's attached to the shaft. Obviously I didn't know that when I started, so hopefully you can benefit from my lesson learned. Okay, that's it. Let's plug it back in, check it still works. Right, well, we got there in the end. Hopefully will last, well, at least another 20 months. So what do I think? Well, at the end of the day, I think what the root cause is that they're just not using the same quality of cable as used to be the case on whatever brand of vacuum from a few years ago. I mean, certainly at one point you used to have 3-core, which obviously made it a more robust cable. Now most devices like this have gone to 2-core because they're double insulated, and that's fine, but if you actually look at the cable, it's pretty thin, and this shows up in another problem that we've experienced, which is it's an increasing tendency for the cable to get twisted. Now, before I started this video, I spent quite a few minutes trying to untangle the cable. You can't really see it there because, well, perhaps there. Really does show every time you just coil it up to put it on the hook. It just gets more and more twisted, and every time you come to use it, it takes longer and longer to untangle. And it's really just down to, I think, them cutting costs. I know copper's really expensive these days, but it seems to me they've gone a step too far. I'm not saying Hoover particularly, I think all manufacturers. My wife has a heated shoulder neck pad, and we've seen exactly the same thing. Cable gets very twisted. It hasn't failed yet, but yeah, it's just when you're spending, what was this, well over £100, you'd like a decent cable on it, wouldn't you? Anyway, that's one moan. There are two other very minor issues that we've had in the 20 months. Well, first of all, let me say we're still very pleased with it, putting aside the fact of the strain relief issue and the fact that the cable gets quite twisted. We still like it. I think it's a good design. There are two relatively small issues. I think both of them I mentioned during the initial review video I did just after we'd got it. The first one is that I don't know whether I can release it. This filter position at the bottom, and the catch is there to allow you to take the cover off and get to the filter. But if you like us, you're trying to Hoover under a bed, and you position the Hoover as low as it'll go to get under the framework of, it's a pine bed with the wooden sides. And if I've knocked that on the underside of the cross piece once, I've done it 100 times, and off it comes, and you've got to stop, you've got to bend down, you've got to put it back on. So I don't know, maybe if they could put the catch on the side or something, but not very good. And the other one, very trivial, the wheels are quite squeaky, but that's not the end of the world. So there you go. All in all, still pleased with it, despite the issue with the cable. Hope you found this one of interest, maybe as of use to you. I wouldn't tackle it if you're not confident dealing with electrics. I mean, obviously you unplug everything before you start, but you need to be, I think, reasonably confident. One last point, it was sold with a 3-year warranty, so why didn't I just put a warranty claim in? Well, when I looked on the terms and conditions, that 3 years only applies if you register it within 28 days of purchase, which of course I forgot to do. So I could have tried a warranty claim, I guess, but I suspect we might have got a pushback on that. So if it happens to you and you have registered your warranty, I'd get them to repair it. But if you feel confident enough, it's relatively straightforward to do. Certainly up here wasn't too much of a problem. Anything to do with the shaft and getting the cable routing sorted in the shaft, it was, let's just say, swine. I could think of some other words. Anyway, I've prattled on long enough. Hope you found it of use. Thanks very much for watching. Please give me a like if you thought it was any good, and don't forget to subscribe. And hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.